someday expensive or not. Hey, welcome to yoga. Glad you're all here. See your faces. Grab a strap-like device today. You will find it useful. We're going to do that weird thing where you wrap it around your foot and then you have some sort of weird bondage situation with yourself, and it'll also help open your hamstring. And then I have a yoga block, or you can take license to go near your couch or a chair or something when you get to that point. I was out with a buddy of mine, and I've got a lot of really weird dietary restrictions, and I get a lot of anxiety about asking for special stuff with my food, even though usually it's something really easy, like I can't eat raw tomatoes or beans, so I'll just be like, can I have a burrito bowl without beans or pico de gallo? And they might look at me like I'm a little crazy, but nobody's ever actually giving me any real grief over this. And if I don't order a thing that way, I end up either not able to eat, or I eat something that makes me sick and I just feel like I'll get over it and I don't. Or I end up inconveniencing the other people that I'm with because all of a sudden I'm just picking pieces of pico de gallo out and they're just kind of going everywhere because I'm really good at making messes. And my friend, he's like, why do you do this? Why are you selling yourself short on your right? This very easy, simple thing just to say, can I just not have pico on my thing and then I'll be fine? And I was like, you seem to have so much ability to assert yourself in other ways. Don't sell yourself short here. I was like, you are right. I'm going to work on that. And so, inspired by that truth, the truth that it serves nobody for us to sell ourselves short, for us to stay small, we're going to work into a lot of poses today that are going to be very expansive. Poses that specifically work best when you feel really expansive. And we'll start to open those things up. I think it's going to be really fun. I'm excited. Your index finger and thumb together, and we'll start with face brushing. So going to the center of your forehead, brush outwards towards your temples a few times. And then going from the sides of your nose out to your temples, along your cheekbones. And your temples down to your chin, along your jawline. Hey. And the sides of your nose down to your chin, along your laugh lines. Then bring your fingertips underneath and behind your ears. You've got those soft spots back there to massage. Lifting up from that space behind your ears so you feel that length through the back of your neck. Keeping that lift as you rest your hands down into your lap. As you take these next several breaths where you deepen and lengthen your breath, think of ways that you really could show up for yourself in your practice today. Places where you're going to be willing to expand a little bit more, to lean into it, to let yourself be large, let yourself explore, be seen, get what you need out of this hour together. Next time you take a big breath in through your nose, let out a big exhale through your mouth. Again, like that. For 3 ohms. Oh. And go ahead and open your eyes. And we're going to come down onto our backs. When you get down there, bring your strap with you. If you don't have a strap, if you don't have anything like that, then you're just going to hold on to the back of your leg. And I'll give some modifications if you don't happen to have things around you that you could use. But if you have a thing, loop it around the bottom of your foot, and then I like to wrap the ends of my thing around my hands. It's easier to grip that way. And then we're working on that straight leg space. And maybe your leg gets straight, maybe it doesn't, but if you can only really wrap your brain around one thing or wrap your hamstrings around one thing at this point, try to let it be a really, really, really long leg. So you're finding that energy of pushing outwards through the sole of your foot. And let that be your main focus, really lengthening out through that leg. And stay here for another 3 long, deep breaths. And then you're going to take the strap, you're going to keep holding onto it, relax your leg. Slide your left leg a little further away, and then without lifting your right hip up, just move your leg over towards the left so that you get that outer thigh stretch. If you don't feel a big stretch through this outer thigh line, try to bring the foot a little further away from you. Something about that seems to help. Just one more exhale like this. And then you're going to take both ends of the strap into your right hand. And you need to lay all the way down with this right leg. So let it lay all the way down on the floor. And then you'll probably feel this lift to your hip. Even if it's not significant, even if your hips are pretty open, you're going to feel lighter in this left hip. And that's even with gravity drawing you down. So that's just a good reminder of how in half moon we can't really get the hips fully stacked. It just doesn't quite work. They won't quite go there. So just knowing that we'll have that little adjustment when we get up into half moon later. And then you're going to go ahead and take your leg all the way back up. You can bend your knee a little bit. See if you've got any more space. If you want to start to bring the leg a little bit closer to you. One more exhale. And then release your foot from the strap. We're going to switch over to the other side. Get there however you like. And then go ahead and let that leg extend out and away from you. Your right leg goes wherever you like. Your left leg, that foot is pushing away from you. It's getting a longer leg sensation. Yeah, nice. Working towards a straight leg even if it doesn't get straight. Good. Give yourself another 2 long, deep breaths. And then keeping your left hip down, start to move your foot over towards the right so that you get that stretch to your outer thigh. You can relax the leg a little bit. You don't want to go too far. You should be able to feel more of the stretch with your hip on the ground. One more exhale. And then come up and you're going to I need to scooch because I've got to walk really close. You're just going to lay that foot all the way down. And even with gravity and the dog trying to drop your hip down, it's not going to go all the way. Letting your body feel how it's a little bit of adjustment. We'll get there later while we're standing. Go ahead and bring that leg. Don't knock the altar over all the way back up. And then if you want to bring this leg a little closer to your face, maybe with a slightly more bent leg, or maybe it doesn't get any closer to your face at all, but it's just another little space to breathe and let the back of the leg relax. One more breath. And take the strap off of your leg. Go ahead and set your strap off to your side. Widen your feet a little bit more than hip width apart. Reach the arms back or hold on to your elbows. And then you're going to take your knees and drop them over towards the right, the one that stretches out the front of your left thigh. Keep reaching that left knee away from you. One more exhale. And then come back to the center and drop your knees over to the other side. Reaching your right knee away from you, feeling the front of that thigh opening up. Okay. One more breath in. One more breath out. And coming back up to the side. Go ahead, stretch your legs out now and separate your arms if you were holding onto your elbows. You're going to reach out through all of your limbs. Feel your body filling up, taking up lots and lots of space. And then as you exhale, let everything soften, let it go. And again, reach out through all of your limbs. Let your body really fill up, take up space. Exhale, let it go. Try it one more time. See if you can fill up just a little bit more. And really give everything into relaxing. Then bring your knees into your chest. Rock yourself up to a seat. And then come onto your hands and knees. And once you get up to your hands and knees, take a few cat and cow. Somewhat opening up the front of the body, but really opening up the back of the body too. So taking that pause to tuck your tailbone in. Just moving with your breath, giving yourself some space to explore these two shapes. Take another 2 rounds of breath. Just moving on your own. And relax your spine towards neutral. You're going to take your right foot and bring it forward. And make sure you've got a good amount of space between your foot and your back knee. Start with your hands on your thigh. Push down into your foot, down into your thigh, and up with your heart. And I want to feel like the heart's going to move forward towards the front of the rib cage. And if it feels good, you can leave your hand on your thigh and take the other arm out to your side, or you can reach both arms out and back to your sides, and then try to get your heart as far away from your fingertips as you can. Really lifting it up and forward. Nice. One more breath in. Then go ahead and take your hands down. You're going to wiggle your foot a little further forward. Find a straight-ish leg. And even if you can totally get a straight leg, try a straight-ish leg, and then see about lifting your chest up and forward. And then if you have a little bit more space to start to straighten the leg up, you can, but try not to be in this place. There's reasons to do this. There's softening here, but we're trying to expand today. So see about that expansion. One more breath in. One more breath out. And then you're going to take your right leg and bring it back in next to your left. Take your left foot forward, bring your hands up onto your thigh. Hello, darling. Okay. We're going to start lifting the chest up and forward. Press into your left thigh. Feel the heart coming up. We just got started here, so get working with us just as best you can. Let me know if you need me. Going to keep the chest lifted up and forward, and then start to reach your arms back. You can keep one hand on your thigh or reach both arms back. Lifting up and forward. And I love it. I see the eyes going up, really finding that lift upwards. One more breath in. And then as you exhale, relax your hands down. I like to wiggle the foot a little bit further forward, and then we're going to start with a straighter leg, straight-ish, kind of sort of like straight, less bent than it was. And then more so than worrying about getting the leg fully straight, can you just start to feel your chest lifting up? All of that lift that you just had in your heart in the last shape, maybe some of that energy, if not quite as much as before, some of that energy is still with you. Nice big breath in. Exhale. And then you're going to bring your leg back. Oh, I'm going to take the whole mat with me here. And then you're going to come back down and go ahead and lay on your belly. You're going to take your right arm and slide it out to your right side with the palm facing down. Slide your left hand in by your left shoulder. Look to the left, rest your head, and roll your left leg back. You want to have your head rested. You're just stretching out the front of your right shoulder. So letting the torso roll up and away from the floor. Just one more exhale. And then roll over to your belly. Slide your right hand in, slide the left arm out, look to your right, and rest your head down as you let the right leg roll back. One more breath in. One more breath out. And then roll over onto your belly. Slide your hands in by your lower ribs. Pick your arm bones up. Send your chest out and forward and reach your legs back so your cobra is long and you get the lift from how long it is. One more breath in. Your exhale, soften down. Pick your butt up off the floor. Push your heart up off the floor. Keep your fingertips spread out, taking up lots of space with them. And then curl your toes under and press up into downward dog. We won't be here long. Just give this as an opportunity to maybe wiggle your calf muscles a little bit looser. Good. Then when you're ready, lower your knees on down. Okay. So you're going to take one foot and turn it out to the side. So I'm going to take my left toes, turn them out to the side. Then you're going to take the other foot and put it towards the back of your mat. And then the leg that was stretched back, when you reach that arm up, you've got this open space in your chest. So my left hand is down, my left knee is down, my toes are not towards my right foot, they're back behind me. You can stay here. This feels great. Usually some variants of great at least. What you might do is lift that extended leg up, bend into it, reach back and try to touch your fingers and toes. Even if you do not touch your fingers and toes, you can still feel your hips and your heart going forward. Take another breath in. Awesome. Nice job. When you're ready, take your hand and knee down, come back into your table pose, and then set up for the other side. So we're going to turn the other toes out, stretch that leg back, and then take the arm up. So we're open with the chest out to the other side. Feel your hips and your heart moving forward. And stay here, or you can pick that leg up, reach back, maybe your hand and foot find each other. And whether or not they find each other, reach your arm and your foot back and your heart and your hips forward. One more breath in. Breathing out. Gently release those limbs. Come back down onto your hands and knees, and then walk your hands a little bit further forward. Bring your heart up above your thumbs, and as slowly as you care to dive into, lower down onto your belly. When you get down onto your belly, lengthen your toes back and your heart forward. Find cobra pose. Pause. Take one more breath in. And on your exhale, lower down. Pick your butt up off the floor. Push your chest up off the floor. Back to downward facing dog. Again, not a long time, just a good time, hopefully. Spread the fingertips out. Deep breath in. Let out a big loud sigh. And then give me one more. Really just let loose, like, ah. And you're going to bring your feet towards your hands and your hands towards your feet. Find an easy fold. And bringing your fingertips to your shins, send your heart forward and your tailbone back. Sip in a little bit more air, and then as you exhale, soften again. Stand all the way up, reach your arms up. Nice big breath in, the hips and heart go forward. And take your hands down to your heart. Just again. Like I keep trying to find a place that will get my whole body, and it just doesn't. So try this. You're going to go for warrior one. Take your left foot back and your right foot forward. Reach your arms up. And then you're going to bring your hands back behind your head. You can bring them open like this, or you can bring your palms together and then take the arm bones back behind your head. The head, let that relax back as much as you're able to. But the heart and the arms and your gaze, lift all of that up and forward. It might help to push a little bit stronger into your back foot. Big breath in. Exhale, soften back to neutral. Go ahead and bring your hands to your heart and then stand up at the front of your mat. It's fine if it wasn't a smooth transition. Sometimes it's just not. And then take your right foot to the back of your mat, finding warrior one. Take your arms up, feel the heart lifting everything up, and then bring your hands together back behind your back. Behind your head, rather. The elbows can be out wide, they don't have to be tucked up together. Same feeling here of lifting the heart up and forward. Try to push into that back foot. One more breath in. Exhale, soften. Release the hands in front of the heart. Stand up towards the front of your mat. Then we're going to take a big wide step out. Taking your legs out pretty wide. Oh, if you have a block, if you wanted to use a block, if you have anything like that for some of these standing shapes, if you want to grab it, you can use it. You're going to turn all 10 of the toes out to the right and then bend into your right leg and open your arms. So feeling this fairly balanced space. So if you turn your palms forward, sometimes you can feel a little bit more about how your chest is open in the front and it's open in the back. You're pretty strong here. Go ahead and turn your palms to face down. Look over towards your right fingertips. And then you're going to lift your heart up to those right fingertips, up to the sky. And feel that same upwards and outwards energy, not falling your ponytail back towards your back foot. Good. Take another breath in. And then come back down to warrior two. One more entrance. Inhale, lift it up. Feel that up and out feeling. And then go ahead and rest it back down. You're going to take your right elbow down to your left knee now. Now, if you have the space for it and you would like to bring your hand onto a block, you can do that, or elbow on the knee, whichever you like. We're going to do this side angle with the arms out to a T, kind of like how they were in warrior two. And you want to feel that same thing where I'm open in the front of the chest and in the backs of the ribs. Something that helps me is to think of my heart reaching into both arms. One more exhale. Or just go ahead and stand it back up. Bring your hands to your hips. We're going to keep this leg pretty straight now, this right leg. Do a little shift of your hips so that your left one is higher, and then bring your left hip a little bit further forward. Triangle hip tilt is a little different than half moon hip tilt, but it's a good thing to remember for when we go into half moon. So take your right hand down and your left arm up. Try to reach from your heart out into both of your hands. One more breath in. One more breath out. And bring your hand back to your hip. Go ahead and stand yourself up. And we're going to switch the feet. You can take that block over inside or the outside either. We've talked about both places being useful. You're going to take the block behind your foot if you are, because it's kind of more of the alignment of half moon. Forget things too. Okay, bend in the knee. Right over your toes, arms out, warrior two. Try to find that space where you've got this open space in the front and the back of your rib cage. And then it changes a little when your palms face forward. It does something to release the front of your shoulder muscles, the front of the tissue that surrounds your collarbones. I'm just going to keep that as you flip your palms over again. And then looking at your left hand, lift your left hand up and lift your heart up the left hand. You're getting a really big oblique stretch, not a falling back into the shape. Take another breath in. Or exhale, back to warrior two. One more inhale, back to peaceful warrior, feeling that lift up again. And then relax it. Go ahead and come down with your elbow onto your knee or your hand down towards the block, depending on which way you like. Now make sure your booty didn't go far back behind you, because that will also not serve you well in the balancing poses, the standing stuff. So try to keep the booty underneath. Reach from your heart into both of your hands. Good. Nice. One more breath in. Breathing out. And go ahead and stand yourself up. Bring your hands to your hips. Straighten that left leg. Take the little shift so that your right hip is higher, then the right hip comes further forward. Take your hand onto the block or onto your leg somewhere. Try to reach out into both of your arms. Big breath in. Breathing out. Go ahead and lift yourself up. Turn all 10 of your toes to face forward. Come down into a fold and make it something that feels good to you. So if you like to put your hands anywhere, if you want to go side to side or bend or wiggle things out, this time is for you. Do what makes sense for you with it. One more exhale. Little bend into your knees. Bring your hands to your thighs and stand yourself up. Go ahead and bring your feet back in towards each other. Okay, we're going to do 2 half moons. We're going to do a half moon, like standard half moon, and we're going to do a half moon where you might want to grab a strap. When we were on our knee and I said grab your foot back behind you, we're going to do that standing up, maybe if you decide you want to, but you've also got just doing the half moon with all the extended long limbs and not so much of the binding again. So that's that. How I like to set up for half moon is if I'm going to put my hand down on something, I want that something to be able to line up my hand with the pinky toe edge of my foot, be about a foot away from my foot, or like a clown shoe, like more than my foot actually is. You're just going to pick a leg that you're going to be standing on. Here's I was working with the people in person yesterday, and almost everybody in the room started doing this, their foot. It would start to turn away from that place that they're putting their legs. So try to be pretty firm about this. Your body's going to want to do different stuff. It's okay. We adapt it and we work with it and try to set up the other positions. So one foot's going towards the thing you might put your hand on. The other foot's out at an L. When you get this leg up, don't let it relax. Try not to let it go behind you. If it goes behind you, set your hips wonky. It's going to make it hard to balance. So my hips are open, not 180 degrees. Go ahead and take a hand down to your thing. Lift that leg up. Make sure it's active. Look at it. You can see that the toes are not behind you. And then we're going to try to reach from the heart into both of the arms. Open in the front and the back of the heart, just like with that warrior two. Awesome. Yes, grab whatever things are appropriately spaced for you. Good. And then go ahead and come on up. That was a really long hold. Okay, so you're either going to do that again. And do that again. You don't have to hold your foot with your hand. You can pretend, or you can just grab onto it like this, and then you'll come forward, and then maybe your hand gets closer towards your foot. Here's the thing. I'm going to show this from the side because this is another thing that I see, and I'm going to hold on my hand onto my foot because that's where I go. Now, I talked about you can't get your hips fully stacked here. You can push the hips forward to stretch open through the side, but if your hips are stacked, then you start to fall back like that, right? So it's kind of like if you think of you have a little stick that you're spinning a plate on top of. If you have the stick over towards one end of the plate's going to fall over, but if you push in both directions there, it might stay up on top of it. Yeah. Awesome, Kay. Yeah, the lifting of the face. And the hard thing is, like, if I lift my gaze, I feel like I'm going to screw it up. The transition to lifting the gaze is scary, but once you get the gaze lifted, then your body's like, oh yes, we want to stay up, not on the floor. And then with varying degrees of success, it happens. When you feel like you've had enough, go ahead and come out of it. I talk a lot, and I'm not there with you, so it's just kind of like free for all, see what happens. Nice. Rad. All right, let's check out the other side. So I'm going to set up where my thing is at least a clown shoe away from my own foot, lined up kind of with the pinky toe, or I got a chair or a couch or something out there. And we're going to take this lifted leg. It's going to point out there, and I want my heart to point out there, and I want to try to look out there, even though it may seem like looking at the floor is going to be more helpful. If I look out, I have more chance of staying up and not going towards the floor. Maybe you've got another breath in. And then go ahead and stand yourself up gently. Good. Okay, we're going to go again for the half moon again, finding the lengthening of those legs. Want to get your underbutt engaged. If you've got that leg not behind you, the underbutt will get engaged. Maybe you're going to try grabbing the foot. You can lasso it with a strap. You could fake it. It's totally fine. Nearly nothing changed. But you have to press your hips and your heart forward as you stretch that leg back behind you. Awesome. And when you feel like you've had enough, you've tried enough times, and your body is like, that is plenty, we're all good. Excellent. All right, so I have another standing balance for you, but first we're going to do, well, I guess this one's technically a standing balance too, but at least we have both feet on the ground. Take your right foot forward, take your left foot back. If you can be up on your toes, you're going to get a little bit more room in the spine. If that's not working for your foot, you can put the heel down. Take your hands, make Charlie's Angels mudra. Then you're going to lift those arms up just in front of your face. You should be able to see your arm bones on the sides of your eyeballs. Then you're going to lift your heart up and forward. And then eventually this shape starts to take you up and back. But if you're strong through the back leg, you're really getting a nice big heart opening and hip opening. One more breath in. Good. And go ahead and take your hands down, step forward, and switch sides. So you'll take the right foot and slide it back. Once you've got this, if you can stay up on the back toes, you take the hands, make Charlie's Angels mudra, lift the arms up on long side of your face. Lift your inner thighs, send the heart up, reach your fingertips up, stay strong through the back leg. Still breathing, opening and lifting that chest. Big breath in. And then let the hands come down. Go ahead and step forward. Okay. So we're going to do the wrap up the strap on the foot thing. If you want to do regular dancer's pose where you're just holding the inside of your foot, totally do that. Or just loop the strap around your ankle. Make it real simple. Before we get into this, before we wrap ourselves up so I don't keep talking at you while you're trying to hold on to being vertical. When you see ballet dancers that do the thing where they tilt over, they don't lift the leg up kind of and then take their body down and then hope the leg gets up. They just fall over. I've practiced doing that and I'm still falling over. So what they do is they send this leg up and then the leg rising ends up pushing their chest forward. Not here. They're lifted everything up here and then it keeps pushing it forward. So try to think of that your heart isn't going to go down to get the leg up. Your leg's going to go up and your heart's going to keep reaching forward and taking up space. Maybe that works for you as we do this. Maybe it's still just really stinking hard. So here's what you're going to do. You're going to take the strap around the back of your heel and then you bring it together. Just slide the pieces together they're all of a sudden one piece, and then you take the two pieces that are now one piece in between your first and second toe, and you wrap it underneath your foot, and you have to pull it fairly tight, and it's a little bit uncomfortable, but you want to make a tight little flip-flop there. Okay, now you're going to hold the ends of the strap with the same hand as that foot. I'm going to bend this elbow. I'm going to turn the elbow down. I'm going to lengthen the strap as much as I need to be able to turn the elbow out and up very far into the camera. Okay, so we're right up here, so I'm going to turn the elbow out and up. Then, if you need to hold on to something, you can still feel the opening, or you grab on with both hands, and we have that opening, lifting the chest up and the arms up. Lift your inner thighs, it's going to help with your balance. Awesome! It doesn't have to be long holds. Gently release the elbow. Yeah! Yeah, Joe, get a little bit taller on your standing leg. You can do it. Yes! 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 Like that. Awesome. Good. And when you're good with it, go ahead and come out. I'm just sitting here with this strap attached to my foot. Okay. Ta-da. I love it. Okay. Let's try the other side. I'm going to loop it behind my ankle. Bring the pieces together. Try to keep it pretty tight. They go in between my big toe and my second toe. Underneath the foot, I've got a really tight little flip-flop that I've made. And then I'm going to hold onto the ends of the strap and stand up. I'm going to bend the elbow, turn it down and out, and then up. Hold with both hands. And then it's about expanding this circle like you're blowing up a balloon. Blow out that balloon, fill up space like when you were taking those big breaths in that X shape, laying on your back where you felt probably a lot safer. One more breath in. Good. When you're feeling ready, release it. If you've still got some space there, still got some stuff to work on or want to try it again, go for it. Awesome. Yeah. Whew. And then when you feel like you've had enough, great. Go ahead and set our little strap friend down to the side. You're going to bring your feet a little bit wider than hip width. If you've got a mat space that you want to move to the front of, you can do that. Take your arms behind your back. If your shoulders have had enough, then you're just going to leave your hands at your hips or drop your arms down. But if you want a little bit more gentle space for your shoulders, hands interlaced behind your back. Bend into your knees. Drop your belly down, and you either leave your arms up on your back, stretching your shoulders, or you can start letting the arms float up above your head. Bent in the knees so that this is relatively comfortable in the back. One more exhale. Gently release those arms down to your back and down to the floor, and then you're going to walk it back towards downward facing dog. When you get into that downward facing dog, take up space with those fingertips, push strong from your heart into your hands, relax the back of your neck. Good. Gently lower your knees down. Then you're going to come to take a seat. Slide your legs out in front of you. Take your right leg in, cross it over if that feels good to you. Hug your elbow, lift your spine. Just using the fingertips for a little bit of a support as you twist over your leg. One more exhale. Release that twist, unwind your leg, and then wrap the other side up, tucking it in, maybe crossing it over. Hook with your elbow. The other fingertips are behind your back. Lift your chest, soften your belly. One more breath out. Release that twist, release your legs. Scoot yourself forward, come all the way down to laying on your back. And make that X shape again. Stretch out through all of your limbs. Take a big breath in. And then exhale, relax. And then you're going to take your right leg and put it on top of your left leg. And your right arm's going to go over towards your left arm. So now both of your arms and your legs are over on the left side of your body. That means you stretch along the right side. One more exhale. And open your arms out, open your legs out. Take the left leg and put it over on the right leg. I keep hitting the hippocorn. And then the left arm goes over to the right. She has this little toy that's like a little hippopotamus, but it has a unicorn horn on it. It was her very first toy. Only I know that it looks like a unicorn at this point. And one more breath in. Deep breath out. And then come out and stretch it open again. You're going to bring your feet in close to your hips, about hip width apart, hip bone width apart, not hip shapeness apart. So your knees are also just that couple of inches at your pelvic crest. Arms down by your side. Wiggle your arm bones underneath your chest, feeling that heart lift up and take up space. We're going to go up for one bridge pose. Push into your feet.
Hold hands if you like, hold hips if you like, hold the floor if you like. See if you can wiggle the arm bones under again so there's more expansiveness in your chest and there's pressure down into the feet so you have more lift in the hips. And then maybe you pull your knees forward a little bit to get a little bit longer through your spine and take up just a tiny bit more space. When you exhale, relax your elbows, gently lower your hips down onto the floor. Take a little pause there. And start to bring your knees into your chest, giving yourself a hug. Maybe rocking a little bit side to side. Cross your right ankle on top of your left ankle. Reach outside of your thighs to either hold onto your knees or maybe you're able to hold onto opposite feet. Let your hips fall down. Let them be heavy. Let this relax the lower back. One more exhale. Gently release your legs. Recross your ankles the other way. And then hold on to wherever it feels comfortable to you. Seeking comfort, not the place that you think that you want your hands to be. Where does it feel good and soft and easy on your body? One more exhale. Release your legs and then bring your knees out wide, your feet up like they're planted on the ceiling. Hold behind your thighs or up and around the outsides of your feet. Take a few little rocks side to side. One more breath out. And then release your feet down, planted onto the floor again. With your right ankle on your left knee, you might stay here. You might reach the right arm in between the legs and hold maybe around your thigh. If it feels fine in your knee and you like to, you can hold your shin, but just make sure that your knee doesn't feel like there's too much pressure there. Rather than trying to bring the knees in or the legs in close to your chest, can you try to let your hips relax down and out away from you, letting them be heavier? One more breath. And gently releasing your left foot down and your right foot down. And then wrapping the legs up the other way, left ankle on top, reaching around to hold your thigh or your shin. One more breath. Gently release your legs, unwind them, set the feet down. As you pull your right knee now into your chest, let your left leg slide out as long as you can. And then instead of trying to really tug your right leg in, can you just let the right leg soften and let the left leg extend out away from you?
softening your belly. Long in the left leg, soften the right leg for one more breath. Then relax the left leg. Just take the right knee across the body and let that hip roll up. Let your right arm reach outwards, softening through your belly. One more breath out. Come back to your back, set the right foot down, draw the left leg in. As you pull it in, slide your right leg out, and then let the right leg be the active one and the left leg be the softer one, which is a little bit of rub your belly, pat your head kind of energy, but it's accessible with maybe a little practice, or maybe today's just the magic day that it makes perfect sense. Yeah, why not? One more breath in. Breathing out. Using your right hand to guide that left leg across the body. Take your left arm and open it out wide so that you're feeling the front of your shoulder release. One more breath in. One more breath out. And bring both of your knees in. Let both of them roll over towards the left side, finding that twist open again. This time knees tucked in a little closer if you have that space. Let the right shoulder open up. One more exhale. And let the knees roll over to the other side, finding a similar feeling twist. Drawing the legs in, softening the belly, the shoulders, the heart. Come onto your back, bring your knees in, give yourself a hug. If there's anything else that you need at the end of your practice, feel free to go there. When you're ready, letting your feet drop down, your knees knock against each other, and stay there, let your legs slide out. You can take a seated meditation. Finding a place that the body to rest. can stay in softness a little bit longer. I was once sitting with a friend of mine, and he was playing guitar, and we were both singing, and we kind of half-assed about it, sitting back on the couch as we did, and it wasn't sounding very good. And at one point, one of the songs that he starts playing, we both really liked and got excited about, and we sat up. We sang a little louder with a little more intensity and enthusiasm, and it sounded so much better. It was like a whole new experience, a whole new sound. Because we really went there. We gave it everything that we could, at least a hell of a lot more than sitting back on the couch quietly. There are so many things in our life that work the same way. When you really go for it, when you give it everything, even if it doesn't go exactly the way that you would like, at least you go through it much more exuberantly and brilliantly. And generally, it works out a lot better that way. We don't serve anybody, and we definitely don't serve ourselves by playing small. When you're ready, start to roll yourself over to your side, offering yourself gratitude for your practice and making the decision to come and spend this evening together. When you're ready, come up and find your own version of a comfortable seat. You can bring your hands up to your heart. Let your heart lift, let your heart open with all of that good work we've done to be expansive, to be large within ourselves today. Sealing the practice, releasing an Om, deep breath in. Om. Bowing down to the love and light that resides within each of our hearts. Namaste. Thank you all so much. If you need anything, if you have any questions, requests, etc. Kelly, Kate, Serena. Hi, Claire.